So Sadhguru, again, I'm grateful for you, namaskaram. I wanted to ask you a question about distinguishing really between the inside and the outside and not being affected by external events, not being ruled by external events. For me personally, it's been a very joyful and immensely peaceful way of looking at life. Understanding that sustainable joy really isn't found by if someone says something nice to me, or if someone says something not nice to me, I'm not joyful. Or
What are they usually saying to you?
usually I'm hearing nice things. So, but who knows? Who knows? But really standing firm in terms of my own inner self. But what I found at the same time, although that's given me immense joy and peace, is that the deeper I dive, the more I realize that we're actually one with the universe. And I wonder how you might reconcile the fact of distinguishing between external and internal, when for me, external and internal continues to dissolve. And I'm coming to the realization that really it's all one. How would you reconcile that?
These are all words that we invented, external, internal. As I was saying out there, if they bury you, which they will one day, no problem to become one with anything. If a worm is buried next to you, you become part of the worm. Just like the worm, you become earth, isn't it? Maybe he's more efficient because he doesn't have bones. You take some time but it's all the same stuff. So, it is the magnanimity of creation that it's given us an individual experience, though we are just a tiny speck in this creation. Don't stretch that too much and don't start thinking your individual existence or individual experience is an absolute thing. So when you say my inner self, you are saying my individual nature is absolute. It is not.
Right.
It is a bubble, a temporary bubble. Enjoy it.
I'm realizing that more and more. And along the same lines, I understand that letting someone or something determine my inner state, as we said, happiness or unhappiness, is a form of slavery, in a sense, as you've said before. But if we don't allow ourselves to be deeply touched by others, are we in a way not allowing us to have the full experience of life? So how do we find that space where we are able to separate ourselves from the mind, the body, the emotions, and our energies, but still be fully involved and still be able to tap into the full capacity, let's say, of our emotions, so that we're able to be touched by individuals, we're able to cry when a parent dies. How do we navigate that duality?
Why should a parent die to bring some tears to your eyes?
Well, I'm touched on a constant basis.
Yes.
In my humanitarian experience, we're representing political prisoners all around the world. I'm touched 24 hours a day.
That's what I'm saying. Why should a parent die for tears to come?
Right.
If an ant dies, tears can come. If an ant lives, tears can come. So, what touches you is the profoundness, not some misery or something sad or something disastrous. Unfortunately, for most human beings, sadness and pain are the most profound things in their life. Their love, their joy, their peacefulness, their ecstasy is never so deep. They're fleeting, but their pain is enduring and deep. So whenever tears come, people think it's out of pain. So touching a life does not mean that something should happen. Are you breathing? What you exhale, the plant is inhaling. What they exhale, you are inhaling. Is that touching life or no?
Pardon me?
Is that touching life very profoundly or no?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the oneness.
When you eat a piece of vegetable, it's going inside, becoming a part of you. Is that touching life or no? So, the question is, how much tenderness can you afford? Well, tenderness is not a crippling process. Tenderness is not a crippling process. It seems like a crippling process only if it happens to you once in a way. If your tenderness is on all the time, you can handle it consciously. When you want, you can cry. Rest of the time you can laugh. Most of the time you can go around like you're a rock. In other people's view, all this. In your experience, you can always be in the most profound level of tenderness. But what kind of expression it finds in the world is according to the need of the situation. So once this happens, how you are is no more about yourself. As the situation demands that you have to go and fight a war, you will go and fight a war. Not out of anger, not out of hatred, but unfortunately something has become necessary.
I've been looking into the issue of giving, and the concept of giving and
What did you come with? When you were born, what did you come with? Diamonds in your
Nothing.
hands?
nothing,
Then what will you give?
nothing.
Just, I take this and place it here and I think I've given. I take this and place it there and I think
You're
I've
just
given.
moving things around
That's all.
that already exist.
So it's a privilege that things are available around you to move things. So I move it from here to there and I think I've given something, nothing to give here.
One of the things I heard you say was that if at all, giving of oneself might be giving, but you did say if at all. So in what sense is even giving of oneself not really giving?
Just before this is what we're talking about. Self is a false idea that you have. Tell me, where is your self? Show me.
The self, as I understand it, is that space that is able to witness, if you will, the mind, body,
You're
emotions,
reading
and
Indian
energies.
philosophy. Don't do that. I'm saying, if there is a space, if you can call something space, obviously it's without definition. If it has no definition, how did it become yourself?
Well, it's like you said, we only know a tiny, tiny, tiny speck of the universe. So I guess the journey is…
No.
Yeah.
If you know space, then you don't know the tiny, you know the entirety of what it is. If you look at material, you can only know tiny bits. If you try to study this will take a lifetime to know. But what holds this is space. That if you tasted the whole universe in one shot.
Understand.
This is the deception of the senses. Senses show you only those things which stop light. It doesn't show you things which does not stop light. Anything that's not opaque, you don't see. Because of that, space, which is the basis upon which a little bit of creation has happened. According to modern scientists, they say it's some 0.0009 times and one or something is the creation, rest is all empty space. It's about the same proportion even in a single atom, largely it's empty space. So, space has no boundary. So if you know space by experience, you know everything. Not as an idea, because it's not an idea. All your ideas are playing upon the space, including your body and your mind, isn't it?
Understood, yeah. You're sometimes misunderstood on the issue of mental health and chemicals, which I asked you about at the Isha Center in Tennessee. And you very compassionately said to me that although chemicals are something that you want to avoid if at all possible, If somebody is suffering from a very severe mental illness, perhaps severe bipolar disorder, and they need a chemical, they need the medicine to keep them alive, then they must take that in order to stay alive. Could you confirm that that's your point of view, number one? And number two, how do we speak to the skeptics who might agree on a certain level about inner transformation, but are worried that if there's too much of a focus on self-mastery or inner engineering, that might be to the detriment of potential medicine and medical interventions?
I don't see how they are in contradiction at all. Right now, if there's pain in your body, you take some painkiller. But my advice would be, don't jump at the painkiller, see how you can manage it. But if it's beyond a certain point, you take it. The same goes for mental health. Mental health, there are many aspects to it. There are pathological aspects which may not be in the hands of that person. But that, in my opinion, is not the largest percentage. The largest percentage of people going through stress, anxiety, depression is essentially their inability to handle their own thought and emotion, which if we invest in the society, from our childhood, if people are taught how to manage their thought process, how to manage their emotions, how to manage your chemistry. We can show you laboratories checking these things and showing how the blood chemistry is changing just by meditating a few minutes a day, how significantly it's changing, how the endocannabinoids are much higher, BDNF is much higher, many aspects which clearly show that the bliss factor in the chemistry is much higher. Well, so this is chemical proof. So right now you are a chemical soup. So what kind of soup? The ingredients for this soup and that soup are same. If I give the same ingredients to 100 different people to make soup, actual soup, you think all of them will come up with the same type of soup? That's all that's happening. So I'm just saying a little more training in cooking. If you train them well, most of them will produce a good soup. If they're not trained, some are absolute disasters, all right? That is avoidable. And that is the maximum percentage of people. Nothing is an absolute solution for anything, let's understand this much. So, when somebody is ill, physically or mentally, he doesn't care how, he just wants to be well, that's all. Take chemicals, hang him upside down, do whatever the hell, but he wants to be well, that's the important thing, that's your fundamental humanity. I want him to be well, how he gets well, I don't care too. But to prevent that from happening in large scale, see right now whatever this is a controversial thing to say, but once again they're saying COVID-19 is coming back in Asia and other places. Maybe it's already here also. To this time we are handling it with little more ease, but still people have started wearing masks. Will a mask save your life? If you're with a lot of people, definitely.
Yeah.
If you're with a lot of infected people, definitely it could save your life.
Yeah.
Not that it will save your life, it could
Right, it
save
can
your life.
increase the odds that
Yes.
yeah.
This is all you're doing with your life, always increasing the odds or decreasing the odds. Is there some absolutism about life? No. You're driving. Is it absolute that you will never have a crash? No. By being alert, by being good driver, by being sensible, you're increasing the odds that you will never crash your car. That's all. There is no absolute. The same goes for crashing your body or your mind. So I'm saying in the society, if we bring meditative processes, yogic processes, which are scientific processes, which about the results of which are in no doubt, absolutely, well established for thousands of years, if that is not enough, the universities and the laboratories are studying and showing the blood chemistry changes. When that is there, if you bring this into everybody's life, the number of people who fall off the rack will be much less. They can be handled with medicine or treatment or whatever therapies or whatever is there. But if you increase the number, let us say 10% of the population goes crazy tomorrow. Do you have enough psychiatrists and enough furniture to treat them? Without furniture? I'm just joking. Without a couch you can't treat. So I'm asking, do you have enough in the world to do that?
No.
No. So, unless every
And you don't
human…
want to get to that point anyway.
This is
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
This is very important. The tools for inner well-being should not be in the hands of some pontiff
Right.
or a guru or an institution. It should be in individual hands. Every human being has a toothbrush. Hello? It's an instrument to see that you don't lose your teeth, isn't it? Hello? See, if you just look back and see, 200 years ago in United States, most of the people, 80% of the people lost their teeth by the time they're 50 because they did not know what is brushing. Today they're all having good teeth. Somebody got this toothbrush to everybody, right? I'm just talking about providing a toothbrush to every human being so that little… You've
I
been brushing it well, too well.
I understand, yeah. Thank you.
And that you brush it every day so that it doesn't fall off. So if most human beings are taking care of themselves, a few who could not take care of themselves for whatever reasons, genetic reasons and other reasons, they can be handled by medical care. Everybody cannot be handled by medical care. There's no medical care in the world which can handle the entire population, there's no such thing.
And we want to lessen the amount of people who need medical care.
Yes.
And inner engineering and the work you're doing at the Isha Center will help the world with that issue.
Definitely it's in that direction, but it needs to happen in a scale where definitely the need for a doctor in your life should come down. When it's absolutely necessary, we will go. Every day you need a doctor to live, that means you're not living well.
Well, I'm spreading the word in my micro way, but I want you to know that I'm committed to spreading the word on a macro level. Whatever you need, I'm here for you.
The miracle of mind, let this reach everybody. We want to see at least 3 billion people will close their eyes for 7 minutes a day. It'll do wonders. This 7 minutes meditation, the studies are showing the alpha waves in your brain changes significantly within 7 minutes. So 7 minutes a day, anybody who's over 12 years of age, they start closing their eyes for 7 minutes a day in an organized manner, the chances of them becoming mentally ill are much less.
Why not even younger?
There are reasons for that. Below 12, don't try that.
It's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank
I hope
you.
to do it again.